Hey guys, welcome back to MYC Uncensored. So, surprise! This is officially going to be my last podcast, even though I said that in my last one. I don't know when that's going to be uploaded, but if you guys already listened to the chronic illness one, well, I thought that was going to be my last one, but then I decided that it was only fitting to share my experience about my placement here at Maryland's Youth Centre for my last podcast. It only seems right. So, my experience. Where do I even begin? So, if you don't know, I study social work and this is my last year of studying. And normally the university will allocate you a placement, and I was allocated one and it was just not the right one, as they didn't understand chronic illness and that I may need time off and I may need like flexibility. So I said, hell no, not going there. So I didn't. And then I remember it was a week before my placement that was meant to start, and I was so stressed out because I didn't have a placement. So I literally called over 20 places. This was the last one. And I spoke to Santini and I was like, oh, hi, my name's Sofia. I'm a fourth year social work student. And at first she was like, why do you really want to come here? And I'm like, well, because I need a placement, essentially. So I sent her my resume and the rest was history, essentially. But then she was like, okay, I'll talk to my manager, George. And I was like, okay. And so I came for an interview and I was so nervous because I didn't know that I had the placement yet. And I remember sitting here in the podcast room and they were like, what are your goals? What are your objectives? Blah, 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 blah. And then before I knew it, we were already joking and mucking around. And I was like, okay, I got the placement. And it was really cool and exciting because I was so stressed out. So then I started the following week and I started with helping out with different programs. So we had at the time the food program where I'd be the person who would like sign everyone in and manage the crowd. I helped with their hangout program where I would just pretty much hang out with the kids, play games, get to know them. And it was a really cool experience, like just building that rapport with you guys, or like getting to know like even the workers here. It's been like such an amazing experience. As time went on, everyone started finishing up their placement because a lot of the people who I knew at the start were doing community service, so they only had to do 200 hours. I had to do 600 hours, so there was a big difference. And so because of that, I started working on the podcast, as you guys know. And I've done over 10 or more podcasts. I worked on their Instagram page for Santini when it comes to the key findings. And it was so much fun because I thought I was like a marketing student because I was doing a lot of like marketing for the podcast. And I'm a very creative person, so I could use my brain, but I could also be using my like creative side. And it was a lot of fun coming up with topics, talking to you guys about taboo subjects. And yeah, it was just an amazing experience. I think what made it easy is the people who work here. You guys don't understand half the things that they do, and they do it for you guys because they love and care and just want the best. And they do the same thing for student placements. Seriously, they will take you on like you're their own and you're part of their team if you let them. And when I say if you let them, like you're all equal. The only difference is they get paid and you don't. But at the same time, you guys should honestly have all the same intentions, and that's to do what's best for the young person. And if you go into that mentality of, okay, we're all in the same playing field, there's no superior, then it's so much easier to build that rapport, to build that connection, to build that trust. And it makes placement a lot easier. And because my placement was a little bit different because I had to do full time for 6 weeks, and obviously we're not open on Fridays. So on Fridays would be my online days, and I would work on policies, procedures, and more like the legal side of things, which was a lot of fun. And so they will adapt to your needs. The only way they will do that is if you communicate what your needs are and what you want to get out of it, essentially. And so I guess if you're considering doing placement here or anywhere else, go into a placement with an open mind, and your motto should be yes. Whether you like to do the things or not, it's always going to be a learning experience. And honestly, I think that what I've learned the most here is to communicate, whether that's verbally or written. And what I mean by that is because I had to do some of my placement online because you guys, like, the service wasn't open, or because of my health, I learned to communicate, like, writing and expressing and getting straight to the point when it comes to emails. And that was really helpful because for the future, I'll bring that into my next job because I know how to communicate in various ways, right? I think the top moment or experience that I had here, it was on school holidays. And if you know, you know. I'm not going to mention these people just in case, but I remember everyone left, and it was just the workers and a few of us young people. And we decided to play hide and seek. And it was so much fun. And I feel like we could all bond in different ways because you guys could really see who I was. And it was just an amazing experience. I don't know, something about that day was just so special to me. And we couldn't stop laughing. And if you know, you know. But yeah, I have really been able to build such great friendships with you guys and create so many different experiences, like the water fight. If you know, you know. But even if you don't know and you don't come to the service, thank you for listening to these podcasts, because a lot of time, effort, thought, and a conscious mind goes into making these podcasts. And that's why we always want to know your opinion, what you want. So in saying that, I want to give a big shout out to Santini, George, and Saini. You guys have been amazing to me. I really appreciate all the support, love, and care you have shown me throughout the last, 4, 5, 6 months. I'm really grateful, and I am honestly over the moon that, placement has been able to be achieved in a really different, unique way, but it's still done. And yeah, thank you guys for showing me that unconditional support. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh, if you do come to the service and you see a pot plant either in the podcast room or the girls' bathroom, no, I'm still here. Yeah, you guys can't get rid of me that easily. But on that note, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys all have a great day, and who knows, maybe see you guys in the future. Bye.